Hello, Gene Schwimmer here. Welcome to today's vlog. Just a couple of subjects today. The first one is, well, I'm actually a little curious. As I have mentioned in the past, I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV. I don't get my news from the TV. Well, if I want to see a video, I can usually find an important event reported on YouTube from one of the stations that are actually reporting the story. They then put the report on YouTube, so I don't have to watch TV. And also, I read a lot. There are so many news sites all over the world on the internet that I feel better informed that way than just sitting and watching a half-hour news show at the end of the workday. But this particular story, if somebody wants to let me know, I'd be curious to see how much coverage this is getting on the evening news, which is where most people get their news these days. Well, here's the headline. Iran tests Biden with rocket attack on U.S. base in Iraq. Militants, quote, with links to Iran, unquote, injure several Americans and kill a foreign contractor as White House vows to, quote, hold attackers responsible, unquote. That's the part I'm really curious about, is to see what Biden does. The ball is in his court. It definitely is a test of Biden. We know what Trump would do, which probably tells you why this didn't happen when Trump was president. I think after the Soleimani assassination, people think twice, or they did think twice about attacking an American asset. But now we have Biden. It's going to be very important to see what he does. And my concern is that the liberal press is going to just bury the story, that he won't do anything, and the press just won't cover it in order not to expose his failure to act or his unwillingness to act. I would want to know, because that doesn't tell me how much the rest of the country knows if they're watching the evening news and the evening news is not reporting it. So I would want to know if they report it. So if somebody could do me a favor and put it in the comments, I would appreciate it. Now on to the main subject for today, which is especially appropriate because I'm in Tennessee and the temperature, well, overnight it went down to 2 degrees. Right now it's in the low teens, low to mid-teens, I think, 15. Might be up to 19 degrees by now. The point being that this wasn't supposed to happen because of, well, they call it climate change now, and precisely because of days like this, and in Texas where they're having these horrendous snowstorms, and in Europe too there has been, well, somebody said, I don't know who it was, but I think it was an English paper, they published a story, which they have since taken down because it was so embarrassing, that the era of winter snowstorms is over, something like that. And then soon after that article appeared, it snowed in England. So we have something like that now, very, very cold. And this talk about, well, that's why they say climate change, because the Earth isn't warming. The computer models are being proven wrong every day. So now they use the term climate change. So anytime we have an extreme in weather, well, let's see what happens if the climate change believers or the global warming believers, if they say that the cold weather that we're having today, this blast of Arctic air that has gone all the way down to the south where I am, if that's the fault of global warming, or again, climate change. But here's a headline I want to share with everybody because this bears right on the subject. Here's the headline. Southeast Greenland Sea surface temperatures 1 degree to 2 degrees centigrade warmer in 1940 than today, new study shows. A team of Danish scientists led by David Wagner published a paper a year ago about the results of a Greenland sediment core from, from Skjoldungen Fjord, I hope I'm getting that right, from Skjoldungen Fjord near the another one, Thrym Glacier or Thrym Glacier. I'm going to go with Skjoldungen Fjord near the Thrym Glacier, which allowed sea surface temperatures to be reconstructed. So you can, I always link to these articles, so you can go to that article and then you can look up the pronunciation and get your own pronunciation. Also, there's a link to the published paper that's mentioned in the article. Anyways, going on. Today, some scientists like claiming the present is warmer than at any time in the past 1,000 years and suggest the Greenland ice sheets are rapidly melting. But the results of the core reconstruction show that it was warmer in the past, some 80 years ago. As the reconstructed sea surface temperatures in the area show, it was just as warm or warmer back in the 1940s. The period of 1915 to 1950 was at a similar level as today. Thus, nothing unusual is happening currently. The Danish scientists are now requesting that Greenland glaciers be better taken into account in climate models and say that the unusual warmth of the early 20th century is related to a complex interaction between two major oceanic cycles, the AMO and the NAO. Period. And I'll again leave it up to all of you. That's your homework assignment, to go look up AMO and NAO. The point for today is that the warming, whatever temperature rising we're seeing in the Greenland Sea, that is no evidence or proof of global warming, because during the 1940s, before all this, whatever they're worried about, carbon dioxide and increased industrialization and jet planes leaving carbon footprints, the Greenland Sea was actually warmer. So because they fret a lot, they keep citing melting of glaciers in Greenland as evidence of climate change, global warming. So we now see that that's not necessarily true. So my advice to the global warming religion believers, if that's your religion, you should try to add a little science and go back and do a little research. I also mentioned in the past something called falsification that is necessary for any scientific endeavor or a scientific theory. If you want to test a scientific theory and you're really being scientific about it, you start with what's called falsification. You cite a condition that would prove that the theory is wrong if it occurs. For instance, if you're saying that what I just read to you, if you're saying that the Earth is warming and we're at historically high temperatures, then showing past temperatures that were warmer, that would tend to disprove the theory. It should make you go back and challenge all of your assumptions, or test your theory, challenge your theory. Also, as I said, their whole theory of global warming is based on computer models. They keep making these predictions of computer predictions of the Earth being a certain amount warmer so many years from now. So obviously, if we do not reach that particular temperature at the predicted time, then again you have to go back and question your theory. Remember, Al Gore said in 2006 that we had till 2016. Obviously, what was predicted did not happen in 2016. What did they do? Did they go back and question their theory? No, they just changed the date to 2020 or whatever. AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she said, I think it was 6 years ago that we had, 6 years ago that we had 6 years left and then it would be too late. Well, a year has passed since then. So is she still saying, I think she's still saying that we have 6 years to do something, but it should be 5 years now, right? Because 1 year of the 6 years is passed. But they don't do that. They just keep saying the same thing over and over, or they just make a general. We have a president, unfortunately, now who really believes in this climate warming stuff, and he wants to spend all kinds of money to fight climate change and too much carbon dioxide, which is what plants use to create oxygen. And I don't know about you, but I would like all the oxygen I could get. So I'm just going to leave that there for today. I hadn't done anything about global warming for a while. I thought today, with way below freezing temperatures in the South, in Tennessee of all places, that this would be a good time to revisit global warming. And it would also now be a good time for all of you to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share with anybody you think would also like the video. Got any comments? Comment section below the video. You could also ask questions, suggest future topics. You could subscribe. I love getting new subscribers. You can visit my music channel. There's a link in the description. Listen to my wonderful music that I write and perform all by myself. And I'll just end by saying how much I appreciate. As I always say, I appreciate the time that you spend with me. I hope you spend more time with me. I would love to see all of you again. I look forward to seeing all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.